right, we're going. Do you want to do the intro this time?
Welcome to the Friends and Pals podcast, episode 2.
This is episode 1. Pilots episode 0. Pilots generally don't count. I don't know who made that rule, but pilots generally don't count.
You did because you coped about Godzilla not counting for FFC.
Well, no. Okay.
Um.
I'm your movie sucks. Who are you?
Welcome to Aaron and Cameron complain about cinema for an hour.
Complain about cinema? God, we'll get to that point.
We'll get to that. I have some movie things I want to talk about.
Hey, so do I. Speaking of movies, I've been playing a game recently that's kind of like a movie. It's called The Last Express. Have you heard of this game?
Not really.
It's an old point and click game from the 90s, and it's like set.
Oh wait, I do know this.
There's no fucking way you know about the fucking Last Express.
Is that the one where like the really funny cutscene at the end where the guy steps on the spider, and he's just like,
"Oh no! That's the Town with No Name. That's a Western game."
Oh yeah, that's what I thought it was.
That game's hilarious. That game's equally hilarious. But The Last Express is like a game on the Orient Express in the build up to World War I. It's all rotoscoped. It's really cool. It's like they rotoscoped the entire game, and it's like, you know, the game that you have to try and find out who murdered your best friend on the Orient Express. And there's like Serbian nationalists. There's like Austrian spies. Like, oh shit, like anybody could have murdered my best friend. But turns out it was the robot bird that murdered your friend. And it's revealed. It's revealed in the last 5 minutes.
I hate it when that happens.
And I'm like, why? The whole game was completely grounded up until this point. Like, why? It fucking flies away too. It gets away. We don't get to nail it. It flies away. I don't know how it can fly. It's made out of like solid gold.
So it's played completely straight until that point.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, in the game, just pretends it doesn't happen, because after that, World War I immediately breaks out. Spoiler alert for the few history buffs out there.
Did the metal bird also kill Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah, flew all the way to fucking Austria. Yeah, it was like Manchurian Candidate. Like, as soon as they said the word, it picked a target and went for it.
Hold on. What's his name? I'm gonna Google it.
Whose name?
Who killed?
It's like, I forgot. It's like some like stupid freaking teenager who's eating a sandwich.
Yeah. What was his name?
I can't remember. I learned about him in history class like a week ago.
I learned about him in like 8th grade. Gavrilo Princip. Yeah.
Princip, yeah.
Gavrilo Princip was a gold bird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, because like I've been playing that because I've been playing adventure games recently, and that's like the only one I've been able to beat because it's a kind of easy. So to have the game fucking turn around on me and be like, nope, this game is like sci-fi now. It's great.
I was trying to remember Princip's name, but all that was registering in my brain is John Wilkes Booth, and that's for sure not it.
I don't think he was around. I think he mysteriously died before World War I could have happened.
That was the bird.
Yeah, it was the bird. Yeah, if you go back through every photo of history, you can see the golden bird from the Last Express.
It's like in Back to the Future, but instead of people fading out of pictures, it's the gold bird fading into historical pictures. Like there's Renaissance paintings. You're like, oh, there's Leonardo da Vinci. Wait, the bird.
Like you go to the famous illustration of like the Ford Theater assassination, and like right next to John Wilkes Booth is the bird. You know that famous picture of like Adolf Hitler and like his like dudes in Paris, just right there, just the golden bird.
The picture of George Washington and the American Patriots on the boat. There's the gold bird
crossing the Delaware River. No,
he's always been there the whole time. Is that how the Mandela effect works?
What is retroactively changing history?
This is Schrodinger's bird.
Yeah, the thing is, the bird was kind of spoiled for me because I was playing like an updated version of the game, and I was going through the main menus, and I was like, oh, so there's a golden bird. I haven't encountered that yet. I wonder when it shows up.
You know how like for podcasts or like let's play channels, streams, like all that stuff, that people will make like animations of certain conversations or like
Yeah.
moments. If there's
So
ever anything,
someone please
if there's ever
animate the
anything,
Goldberg Mandela effect.
if there's anything from this that ever gets animated, the golden bird just showing up in historical events, please, it's the funniest thing in the world.
And the thing is, no one react ever when it happens. Like everyone reacts like it's like a normal thing. Like of course it starts like mauling a guy, and like his bodyguard is like, oh shit, and they start fighting it, and the main character and his love interest just jump out the train, and they're like, all right, let's go. And I'm like, what? I would like capture that thing and like study it. Like, what is this?
No one captures a golden bird.
But then again, World War One immediately broke out afterwards, so I guess they had bigger fish to fry.
Look, all I'm saying is, World War III might happen soon. Keep an eye on birds.
Like, yeah, watch the skies.
I mean, you see what happened to what was her name?
The Hindenburg.
The first
bird
lady.
did that.
What? No, I was talking about the first lady who died this week.
What?
There's a first lady died this week.
Joe Biden's wife?
No.
You said
There's a
first
past
lady.
one.
You gotta specify which first lady.
Rosalind Carter.
Oh.
Yeah. You know who did that.
You did the golden bird. That's so fucking stupid. Because the thing is, the whole in the game, it's like the egg that it's in is like a MacGuffin. Like multiple people throughout the game are trying to find the golden egg that it's in, and I'm like, oh, it's probably just like an artifact or whatever, because that's like, you know, what these old like adventure spy movies have, like an artifact. But no, it's actually a fucking weapon of mass destruction.
That alters history forever.
Yeah. The game is really good though, and I know a while ago you mentioned you're into history, and that game has a lot of good history in it.
Speaking of history, we can go into that. Napoleon coming out soon.
Napoleon's coming out. I've heard good things about Napoleon. I kind of fucking think Ridley Scott, the director, is a big joke because he just makes shit movies nowadays.
What movies has he made recently?
He made House of Gucci, which has the funniest transition of all time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
There's a part where like Jared Leto, like fat Jared Leto, is like up on stage, and he like screams. But when he opens his mouth, like a car horn starts playing, and that's when it transitions into the next scene.
That's actually genuinely funny.
And he made The Last Duel with Matt Damon.
I know about that one.
He's been making a lot of movies that are getting middling to low reviews. Napoleon might be his comeback. Who knows?
Yeah, I think I have hope in this one. This one looks interesting.
He seems to have a thing for historical epics. His first movie was a bit of a historical epic, and he did.
I think the new Taika Waititi movie came out recently.
Yeah, that's a good one. But there is one.
I want to watch that.
There is one movie we're failing to mention, and it's
what?
And it's the funniest, most fun you could possibly have while watching a movie in theaters. We saw the FNAF movie, right?
Yes, I did.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
I keep forgetting to make my video on it.
Oh, really? Are you a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's? I don't think we've ever fully talked about Five Nights at Freddy's in our lives together.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever come up. I'm a lapsed fan.
A lapsed? When did you fall off?
I fell off around Sister Location.
Same. That's where I fell off too.
Okay, so we're in the same point, and that's why I like the movie, because it's all the old lore.
Yeah, well, listen. One thing I love about the movie is that it commits to the first game and a little bit of the third.
Yeah, like
that movie adapted just as much as it needed to.
The only real like newer game stuff is just a more established Michael Aft and Vanessa. But that's like it.
Yeah, like I was like legitimately impressed. They just stuck with like the main original cast, which to be honest, kind of the best part of the movie.
The lore is too deep now that if you went into current stuff, movie one, you'd have to like spend the first have a 30-minute prologue explaining everything because there's so much shit.
Yeah, like I like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like the second game's my favorite because the thing is, it's kind of hard to take Five Nights at Freddy's seriously anymore. So I'm glad the movie didn't take itself too seriously.
Okay, so as you know,
In some parts.
I'll dox myself a little bit. I work in a movie theater now.
Uh-huh.
And one
Oh
of
no,
the
that
things
means you have all the kids coming and going Five Nights at Freddy's, just coming into the theater one by one.
Oh dude, I was like a greeter. I was doing tickets the first weekend day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shitty little kids.
Oh yeah. Well, what would you say the age range was? If you had to give like between like youngest to oldest.
Youngest was like 10.
Okay.
We had some parents in there, but the vast majority was like 14 to like 21.
Okay. You know what? That's
It-
that's a decent age gap for a movie that's what rated fucking PG-13. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think they were smart to keep it PG-13. As much as I would have liked it to be rated R, you have to remember that most of the FNAF fan base are kids.
Yeah, well, a lot of the fan base has kind of grown up, but there's still a majority that are little
Dude.
kids.
Yeah, you'd be surprised because there's
And when
A
I
lot
say
of
grown
little
up, I
kids.
mean like our age. So
Yeah.
not really.
yeah.
I-
But yeah, I've seen the movie. I didn't actually see the credits Easter egg until later.
Can I talk? Okay, so the post credits. It's not even a post credit. It's like someone accidentally put it in the wrong part of the timeline, and they accidentally dropped it in the middle of the credits.
No, I wasn't even talking about that. It was the spelling thing at the end.
Spelling thing. Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that the first time.
What does it even spell?
It spells "come find me."
Stupid. Maybe they'll have like a funny Five Nights ARG, which yeah, might work.
I was talking to my friend. If any of you guys watch my stuff, watch it's multiple layers deep. If anyone follows my wrestling channel and watches Encore by World Champs EK, I was talking to him at work about it because he'd watched it. And he has a different theory. He thinks that it's the puppet
Probably.
spelling that out. I thought it was just William Afton.
It was just William Afton. Did you like William Afton in the movie?
I wish he had more than like 4 minutes of screen time.
That's what I thought. He was barely in the movie. Like, for a guy who's literally the catalyst of the entire franchise, you would think they would spend a little bit more time on him.
His monologue to the animatronics, they're like, look at how small you are, spiel.
I mean,
Is
while he's like,
genuinely
looking
like
up at
a
him.
really good scene. It's a really good scene.
Well, yeah, that's because like Matthew Illard. You know, I don't give him too much credit, but he is a legitimately good actor.
But
Like I know
And
a
the
lot of
guy who,
people.
like-
I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's Shaggy from Scooby Doo, but he's been in some like he was great in like Scream. He was good in other movies.
he's actually like a decent actor.
He's like a decent actor.
He's good. I like the guy who they got to play Mike.
I
thought he did a good job.
Okay, listen, a friend of mine, Justin Mesh, who frequent viewer of the channel,
And Orloff.
and Orloff, and also Night Terror. He apparently, I don't know if you'll appreciate me telling the story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway, 'cause I think it's really funny and it kind of puts into perspective how I feel about him. Apparently, he like pseudo grew up with him because he would always play. His name's like Josh Hutcherson, the actor who played Mike. And
Yeah.
when Justin did football in school, he would always play against Josh's school in football. He was in soccer. He wasn't good at it, and of course he was in the bridge to Terabithia at a young age. And everyone after that point, everyone just fucking coveted Josh Hutcherson. It was like, oh my god, he is such a brilliant actor, and everyone's like, that movie's dog shit. And I guess according to Justin, it was like, yeah, got kind of an inflated ego from it. So I'm like, he was all right. He makes the FYC face throughout the entire movie, but
That's why I was going to talk about that. I love him making. Have we ever actually talked about the FYC face?
Yeah,
on
the FYC
camera?
face. Put it up on screen. I bet if we took every single FYC face and we just faded on top of each other, it would make one face.
You make it. It's your default reaction to almost every scene,
It's like,
especially the
I
skits.
don't know how to act. I don't know how to act. That means Josh Hutcherson doesn't know how to act.
My favorite scene is Tyler going, "My family's dead." You just look at him like he's stupid.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to act, and like I was watching the FNAF movie, and he does it because like I guess like the character that he's playing is meant to be like like put out and how he's like tired all the time, so he's meant to be like kind of put out, but he just makes that confused looking face most of the time, especially when he's in the pizzeria, and I'm like, it's just the face. Why wasn't it me? Why wasn't I in Funny Five Nights? I could have done it. I do it all the time.
This movie was like the Mario movie in a way that and I wish the Sonic movies did this, where I'll watch it and like I was watching it at home, and it's the scene in the mall where it's the like mall scene where Mike goes to get like ice cream and all that, and the like ice cream company logo is the annoying rainbow from FNAF World. I'm like, I get that. I played the game. I feel like the Sonic movie, the thing with FNAF and Mario, and even Detective Pikachu, is they feel like they're movies of the series. Well, the Sonic movies feel like they're just movies with Sonic in them.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it was me that coined this. I think like fucking Scott the Wise did this. Like the reason why I feel like FNAF and Detective Pikachu and Mario are able to pull so much stuff from different games to make it feel like an actual Mario movie is that Mario, Pikachu, and FNAF have all these like pretty good games, and Sonic only has like the first 3 that a lot of people know of. So that's kind of all they kind of really are able to pull from. If that makes sense.
Give me the Sonic Rush references, please.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there are people who are, gonna get those references, but they're not the mass public. The mass public has played at least, like, 3 Mario games. The mass public probably only knows about Sonic from bypass.
The mass public will understand who Donkey Kong is and will know what Rainbow Road is.
Yeah,
like that.
It's a little hard to have references to Sonic when a lot of people only know the first 3 games.
I'm kind of sick of Sonic only being the Genesis games now.
Well, yeah, that's like like I said, that's a thing that a lot of people know, so it's a safe bet just to do that.
And I've been very not excited about Sonic for many years.
I have never liked Sonic. Never once.
I don't know if you've been following on my Twitch. I've been doing the Sonic Adventure 100%
for 5 years.
Stream. And I talked about it on the last stream. I finished Tails and I was going through Knuckles, and I just like stopped the game. I was just like, this game is not good.
Yeah, after a while you realize that the game isn't fun. The only fun I've ever had playing a Sonic game was Sonic 06. And that's because I was just in a perfect mood. That still remains one of my favorite Sonic experiences, playing Sonic 06. Well, I guess besides Mania, but that's Mania.
Generations is genuinely a good game.
I haven't played Generations. Someone gifted it to me on Steam like 5 years ago, and I was like, this is alright. But it sucked because I was playing on mouse and keyboard, which don't do that.
Yeah, no, you need to play Sonic on a controller.
Yeah, that was before I knew what controllers were. But yeah, I'm willing to give Generations a go. I don't know. Sonic is stupid. Just give me Sonic Spinball any other day of the week.
Real, honestly. It's a problem because, like, I love Sonic, except I love everything about Sonic except the games.
Yeah. I need to watch those movies, though. A friend of mine says that the movies are actually pretty decent. And then again,
read the IDW comics.
What?
The moral of the story is read the IDW comics.
And I heard those comics are good.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're really good.
Remember the storyline where Robotnik goes to the real world and starts like an actual comfy life, but then gets so pissed off the idea that Sonic is causing shit in the old world, so he goes back, that blows up like the university that he is professing under. Which turns out to be the Archie College. And then build a statue in his image. What?
Should just have an entire separate podcast talking about Ken Penders.
Oh god.
Because we really could.
Don't freaking remind me about Kim Penders.
I watched a video about him earlier today.
Yeah.
So it's actually very topical.
Kids, if you don't know who Kim Penders is, ask your parents. He's a character.
I can't wait till like we are old enough to be parents and kids will ask us who is Kid Penders, and we'll just sit there having like flashbacks.
You know that gif of like the Malcolm Middle gif where Hal like leans over to his son and like it becomes dark all around him. It's like that.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
And then the golden bird will be outside your window, and you're like, "Son, get down!"
Yeah, he was there when Kim Penders was first signed on for the comics.
the golden bird is just in the background of every tragedy.
God, why?
That needs to be the title of this episode. Is the golden bird?
Golden bird.
And then there's actually a golden bird in the background when you are yelling at me and Tyler that we ruined Halloween.
No. He was there when the Swede died. He was there when he was there when Nolan died in Ultra Q. It's fucked up.
My favorite part of it, now that I'm really thinking about it, is that you fake your death, but it's like it's ambiguous if you actually got syphilis or not.
Yeah, well,
you might just be faking your death, but you still actually have syphilis and might actually die.
Well, well, the thing is, like, I told you why it ended that way because I had like less than a month to write the final script and I had to do it just so I could have like a sad ending.
Well, you had a backdoor to do a season 3 that you didn't do.
Yeah, well, I told you what I wanted to do for season 3 is that they just quit. The gang quickly finds out that he did not fake his death. I wanted that. That's the joke in the epilogue too.
I wanted to do what my idea for season 3 originally was that it splits in 2. So like every episode has an A plot and a B plot. Where the A plot is like the main focus is you doing reviews, pretty much just the old FYC format, but with the new cast like you wanted to do. And then every episode has a couple of scenes of like a smaller B plot with Jason, Jimmy Johns, and Dino, and other new characters.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds horrible. Oh, sorry. That sounds horrible. Because I've been rewatching a bit of FYC recently for no particular reason. I rewatched the April Fool's video from the For Your Avoidance.
Yeah.
And I forgot because there are criticisms I do have against FYC that are in the For Your Avoidance, but sometimes I can't remember what I legitimately had a problem with it at the time. So I can't remember what I was actually bitching about and if I was genuine or not.
My biggest criticism of the FYC is honestly I just wish we had more time and a more congruent idea of what we wanted to do.
Well, the thing is, I look at FYC in two ways. I look at it as like a funny haha time capsule of what we were getting up to in high school, but then I like to look at it from the perspective of some random schmuck who came across it on YouTube and is watching like freaking Nolan lose his head in the graveyard. And I mentioned and when I got to the Ultra Q video in the FYA, I'm like, it takes 7 minutes to get to the review. And I feel bad for anyone who legitimately wanted an Ultra Q review.
There's someone out there who was like watching the final episode, be like, oh, he's gonna look at the killers. Oh, I can't wait to see what he thinks. And then it's never addressed.
Yeah, that is never. That is the joke, all things considered. And I never. Well, I did intend for there to be a review of the killers, but I cut it for time. And let's be honest, it was better. It was better for that.
I really hope that episode, if there's a season 3, that we try to do a killers review again and it gets derailed again. It's just a continuing joke.
The MFC can just never review the killers.
We'll try and we'll fail.
God. I can't defend a lot of things in FYC. That's one of them. Cameron's borderline obsession with the Ernest Hemingway short story in that amount of time. If the days were different, I would have never discovered that, and the whole plot to FYC would have been totally different.
A good example, one of my favorite things of FYC is one of your lines, which is a good line, in the last episode said, "Oh, I'll never get my Airbud like ending now," which is a point of that like Nolan got inspired to review movies based off of Airbud.
Well, that's oh, go ahead.
A character trait only addressed in that one line in one episode.
Well,
that's never established
It's meant.
again.
Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in subsequent videos, that one of the dropped plot points was the motivation to why Nolan started FYC and why like Jason wants to kill him, because like it was supposed to be revealed during like a scrapped interrogation scene with Richter before he until he was just unceremoniously blown up.
It's like
You can
no
ask Tyler.
lines
You can ask Tyler. It was the very first thing we filmed because I wanted to get it out of the way, but Nick and his smelly friends were there, and it made filming impossible. And it was like, oh yeah, after the hit on the Swede, Nolan would have been like, damn, I should take movie criticism seriously, and Nick would have been like, oh man, don't do that, boss man will get mad at you. And the whole reason Air Bud is a thing is just an in joke because I like the movie Air Bud. I think it's a decent movie. So that would have just been just an in joke for my other friends, my other group of friends, who ridicule me for liking Air Bud even though it's a decent movie. It's a good movie.
There's a lot of other things like that. Like, I don't think officially Dino liking FYC is ever actually addressed on the show ever.
Well, the whole Dino subplot, like the whole Dino trying to kill Nolan was introduced in the very last minute on your bequest at the end of Babylon, and we never followed it up because ideas kept changing. Because I'm pretty sure Tokyo Drifter was meant to follow up Babylon.
And that was supposed to be the focal point of the whole episode.
Yeah, it was him, was Nolan almost dying.
Well, I think that was the idea, was like, oh, I remember why I pitched us doing that. I remember why now. Was because we didn't know how much Evan was going to be a part.
Uh-huh.
So it was like, you need a lower antagonist to keep the story going.
Yeah.
But then we had to change that anyway because Tyler was gone. And I'm like, well, you needed a sidekick. And I just had to fill that role.
Yeah. I wish
that is the genuine reason.
Sometimes the whole reason why I did Ultra Q to begin with is because my friend Justin was like, "Yeah, do a Halloween episode." I love Justin. I love him to bits. He's a great friend. But sometimes I just need to stop listening to him and just do my own thing. Because like by the way, this is like no shade to Justin, but he's the reason why Ultra Q was a thing. He's the reason why Kenny versus Spenny was a thing. Hard Boiled, YKK, Noddled, and King Kong were my own machinations. But he was like, do this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Which, albeit, great episodes. Kenny vs. Spenny is probably the best episode of FYC. But a lot of what I wanted to do, story-wise, was kind of constructed around other movies that I just didn't get a chance to do.
What do you think now is the likelihood of an FYC season 3 from you?
From me? Well, I don't know. Ever since Game of Death took off, I'm a changed man. I'm a different. I'm a different man. That video was still getting decent views.
I still think the future of FYC is skits, but the review is in like the FYA style.
Yeah, because like the thing is, like you could like totally see that I wanted to do. The thing is, I've always wanted to do skit-based reviews. I've always wanted to do that, but there was always a part of me that was like, I just want to do reviews. That was evident in like my early years on YouTube, which we will not talk about. That's like the dark ages of the nerdy media man. But you can still see that in Hard Boiled, because Hard Boiled is just a fucking review, like a huge in-depth review of like fucking John Woo in Hard Boiled.
Are you gonna watch the new John Woo movie?
The fuck yeah, the one with like no dialogue. Yeah,
that's the one with Joel Kinnaman, right?
Yeah, I've never seen Joel Kinnaman in anything, but I like John Woo, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I've only seen him in the Suicide Squad movies.
Who's he in Suicide Squad?
Yes, both of them.
Who was he?
He was Rick Flag.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I like to imagine that because of the way that this movie is, this is just Rick Flagg's like Christmas adventure.
Well, if it makes you enjoy it that much more, then go for it, I guess.
That's what my headcanon of this movie is.
But I've always wanted to.
Like he looks,
Oh, go ahead.
he looks the exact same because he's just joking him.
Yeah, but he's in a
Like,
Christmas
in both
sweater.
movies.
I love John Woo. He did a Reddit AMA a few months ago, and he was a very pleasant fellow to talk to. Didn't talk to me,
Really?
though. He didn't talk to me though, sadly. Forgot what I asked him. It was a good question though.
But what we were saying was we're talking about FYC season 3.
I would like to do it, but I'll be honest, like anyone who has stuck with my channel for like a long ass time, like a long ass time, you know that my priorities shift a lot. It used to be all about gaming videos. Then, oh shit, we're gonna do movie commentary tracks. Oh shit, we're gonna do movie reviews. Oh shit, we're gonna do skits now. Like, you know, my priorities change a lot. Just for myself, I like to do different things.
I will say this, and I don't mean this in any negative way, but I'm just going to also be honest. It is incredibly unlikely that there will be an FYC season 3 that has the full cast back for every episode.
No. And
that is not happening.
why would you say it won't happen?
I won't say it won't happen. I just say
why would you say the possibility is low?
Just because all 4 of us. Well, first of all, it's impossible completely because we're not inviting Nick back. We're just not. I'm sorry. I love you, Nick.
Sorry, Nick. I know you're not watching this, but you know.
I know you're not watching this, but if by the 1% chance you are, I love Nick to death, but he's not coming back.
We can. He died. Remember?
Yeah.
Richter
well,
actually died. Richter is actually dead.
He's the only character who will ever stay dead in the show.
Yeah.
But no, like, it's just because all of us are all really busy, so like, even just getting us around for not film day is already a pain.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's like the characters won't show up. I'm just saying that like to get all the characters, all 4 of us around for a consistent amount of congruent episodes is not likely.
And it's also a lot more than that. Like, you know, equipment is hard to get. Like having actual like secure locations is hard to get. That actually, you know,
we don't have the advantage of having school locations, time, and equipment anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know, of course, you know, people like the Nostalgia Critic, you know, make do with that, but you know, they're a different case. They're like an actual fucking organization or something, cult. I don't know. But it's also because we just kind of want to. Well, for my case, it just wouldn't be the same. And you know, like, you know, it just wouldn't be the same, you know.
I want to personally, and I've talked about it with you, and I'm saying this with no like official thing happening, other than like the one thing we are going to do.
FYC movie coming to theaters now.
What theater would ever have? They air a review of a movie at the theater.
Hey, what were we gonna say?
Is that like, other than the one thing that we had talked about doing, being like the epilogue, I don't think there'll ever be a like FYC season 3, like in its normal way, unless we just did the idea of Dino is now Nolan, where it's me giving my honest movie opinions as Dino, which would be really funny. Where I just find new sidekicks. But what I want to do is, whether it's that or the idea what I'm more passionate about, which I will keep under wraps. I don't think there's room to do FYC the show itself as a thing again. Yeah,
like there's no way FYC as it was during high school would ever come back in exactly the same way. The circumstances are different. Like everything is
Yeah,
different.
that was kind of the point I was making. Is that like if I see completely one for one, well, is not a thing that can happen again.
And that's why I like FYC the way it is. You know, it's a great time capsule of what once was. And I know a lot of people don't like people dwelling on the past, but you know, we're doing it in a healthy way. We're reminiscing.
I think there is room for sure to expand on the FYC world.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just don't do it nowadays because you know, like I said, I like the way it is so much, and nothing I could ever do again like that could live up to it unless I do it for real. You know, like a whole actual Scott the Woz affair.
That's what I'd want, to be
But the
honest.
thing, like I said, my priorities have changed. I like doing what I'm doing now. I like doing what I'm doing now, and you know, it's fun to go out with the buds and not hold them hostage under a camera for 2 hours.
If there's gonna be anything you're gonna see from us all together again, it's gonna be our like comedy sketches that we've wrote that have nothing to do with FYC.
Yeah, because we realize that actually making skits is a lot more fun than just watching Cameron talk about a Japanese movie and then going, all right, now we can have some fun.
Me and Tyler were so bored during most of the filming of the review parts.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think for sure if we had done it like with the FYA format, the episodes would have come out a lot faster because we could have spent the actual time there, like on location, just doing the skits, and then you could have done the reviews from home.
Yeah.
And that would have saved a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah, but that also comes with the thing that, you know, I'm not that smart. I don't know how to write around that. The fact that they're in 2 different locations. I'm still not smart. My writing is sometimes
well, and it could have just all been voiceover.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. I kind of liked having myself be in the reviews. And that's what I kind of miss about FYA. I kind of miss having myself on screen. And not in like a vanity way, kind of just like, you know what I mean.
The best part of the show is when I see myself.
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. It sets me apart, I guess. I don't know.
There's a human element to it.
Sure, let's go with that.
That's the nicest way to word it.
Yeah. You guys could have put a giant mirror in place of the camera, and I still would have done the video.
You'll green screen yourself, so there's more of you.
Why didn't I use that?
You'll green screen yourself onto yourself.
Why didn't I use that green screen? That was a genuine piece of criticism I got every now and then, and I would always be like, "It's funnier," and I'm like, "No, it's worse."
I said that. I think me and Tyler both criticized you for
Tavin
it.
said that.
To your face.
Shout out to Tavin.
I think that was. I think most of us asked you like, "Why aren't you using this?"
I don't know why.
Or at the very least,
like this is like the worst idea that I could have possibly come up with.
Or at the very least, why don't you just use a normal background instead of the green screen?
It was I should have had like an actual set.
You didn't think to use any of the other corners of this room that have
No, FYC
honestly...
FYC exists in a green void.
I like how my favorite part of your nepotism is
what's nepotism? What does nepotism mean?
Like ego.
Ego? Okay.
Is that like the peak of your nepotism was you earnestly renaming the room to the FYC room?
Well, it was
Tyler,
only. Well,
yes.
What else was I supposed to call it? What else was I supposed to? In different episodes,
the film room.
Sometimes it's called the club room. Sometimes it's called the FYC room. Sometimes in the same.
I understand
episode.
you calling it. I understand you calling it that on the show, but you would say that like at lunch, like in normal conversation, like, yeah, we'll go back to the FYC room, and me and Tyler are like, we do more in that room than your show, Cameron.
I don't remember that, but I don't want to argue with you because that's probably something I did 100%.
I'm sure we can have Tyler on the show at some point.
He'd probably. I'm pretty sure everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with you. It probably says it in the scripts too. I'm pretty sure it says both club room, TV and film room, and FYC room.
I was explaining to, I think it was my brother. I think it was my brother that was explaining the censorships and this. No, it was my cousin who played D&D. West shuts out. I was explaining the censorships, in our scripts, like cold because he unironically like he as a bit used game end in a sentence, and I was explaining the different censorships because we wrote the scripts on school like
Computers, yeah, Chromebooks.
the school docs, yeah.
Yeah, and they were constantly monitored by the school. And I'll tell a little funny story about that when you finish your thing.
No. Literally, I was just talking about how like we would replace words like "killed" with "cold" or
Yeah.
like the killers with the colors.
Yeah, and I
And
remember.
there's all
ahead.
swears too, right?
Yeah, all swears. Well, I didn't even really swear that much in FYC anyway, except for
Yeah,
I think when I cataloged every single swear for FYC bits, it only amounted to like 5 minutes.
and most of them are me and Tyler.
Yeah, it's very
The
awkward.
vast
ones. Yeah.
Although, I've noticed Dino barely swears.
Well, the reason why you two swear so much is because I let you two improv, so it just came naturally. I guess.
Yeah, and if you listen to me and Tyler talk together in real life,
Yeah.
it's just constant of pops.
But
Especially Tyler.
I remember the old film club president, who won't be named. He put in a Google Doc. He's put in a Google Doc the word shit, just the word shit, and he got called to the office. And he came back, and I was like, "What happened?" And he's like, "They caught me with like a naughty word in the Google Doc." And I'm like, "Oh man, what was it?" It was like the word shit. I was like, "Oh, do you have any other things like that?" Oh, I have a Google Doc called Bumblecock My Shit Fuck My Ass, but they didn't seem to find that one. Like, okay.
That's
It's a genuine
what's funny
one.
too is again I will mention that I do like wrestling stuff, and I had like vignettes made for myself that were supposed to be like ARG kind of like just like really weird like disrupting imagery. So it was like hypnotic like swirls, really distorted sound bites contorted to form sentences
Uh-huh.
and all that. And there's like puppet imagery that are like cut my strings, set me free, all that on my school account. And this no one it was on my school like Google Drive.
Yeah. Were you ever caught for it?
No. No one ever said anything.
Listen, schools don't care about that stuff anyway. They pretend they do. They rarely do.
There's a cult running in that school and no one cares.
Yeah. I told you about the whole way they handled me and the other film club president's affair, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember fucking Reconciliation Day?
So this is something really specific, but it made me laugh really hard. I told you that I was looking at that news thing the other day.
Yeah.
And I was also looking at do you remember the what was it? The like scholarship ceremony thing?
No. I don't watch my old high school news very often, except when you send it to me.
No, I just mean like do you remember that event?
No.
That
I
we did,
think
like,
I do.
right
Where like
before.
it's like where people sign.
No, it was literally just like this person earned this thing, and they're like,
Maybe.
here's all
I
the people
think.
who got the hope, like this
They
scholarship.
got the
whatever,
poop
whatever.
scholarship.
The
Yeah.
poop scholarship. Anyway, the point I was making to you, I was looking at it because our friend Madison, shouts out, got one of them, and I sat with her all that, so I was like, hold on, maybe I'm in this because that'd be funny, even though I didn't get anything. Which, by the way, made that event make me feel like an asshole.
Why?
Seeing all of my friends get scholarships and then me, I'm just like, I'm just here. I don't know why they made us go to that.
Yeah, they made everyone go to. Oh, I remember this now. This was like the most pointless thing in the world. Wasn't this during school hours?
It was during time in Mr. McKinney's room, so that's why I was annoying.
I don't know what I was doing. I just wanted to go home.
I was like, I could be doing something productive right now.
Like 75% of the people could like, you know, be doing something else right now.
Yeah. But the reason I would bring it up is because I was watching it back to see if I was in it, because it'd be funny. And then I realized Mr. McKinney kept it on the entire, like, the same static angle the entire hour and a half.
Oh, great. That's great production value, Mr. McKinney.
Thank you, Ashley.
Really showing off the talent of our school.
And it's in like a really awkward diagonal, like it feels like someone peeping through a window.
Can I just say, like sidetracking a little bit, I've been working for like, you know, my college's like TV live unit or whatever. I'm not gonna properly say it. But and you know, I work camera a lot, so I always hear them cutting. You know, all right, take camera 5, ready camera 5. You know, take 4, ready 4. You know, they're always doing that. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's so cool. You know, they're using different stuff. Funny story about that. I covered my college's basketball game on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you know how like, you know, they have the different cams. Like, oh, today is like the smile cam. You know, smile into the camera. You know, that stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were doing that, and they're like, and I hear over my intercom, like, all right, Cameron, we're doing the smile cam. Try and find someone to, you know, put on the smile cam. And I'm like really high up and stuff, so I can like see everyone. So I'm like, all right, I need to find like a group of kids or young people that'll like wave to the camera and be happy and stuff. So I see a group of kids. I'm like, perfect, let's go to them. And they see it, they start waving the camera. And then they start doing the obscene motion where they pretend like they're sucking a cock. and I hear over my intercom, they go, oh shit, quick, change cameras. It was really funny. It was really funny. They were like, that happened.
I assume you weren't in trouble.
No, I how was I supposed to know they were going to do that? We only had 2 cameras. It was only me and someone else, so they had to quickly cut to the other guy, even if he didn't have coverage.
I was really hoping what you're gonna say is you were scaling for the smile cam, but you just found the most upset, like disgruntled looking guy you could find.
That would have been really funny.
Now here comes the smile cam. You cut to a man in confession.
Someone just sleeping.
It's just a sleep man.
You know, actually, if you go back to that broadcast, because I went back and I watched the broadcast again so I could see the kid doing it, and I saw in the background this golden bird, just in the back, it's the background.
No. Kill this kid.
Yeah, I saw it whispering into the kid's ear, saying, "Do the obscene motion, kid. It'll be worth it. You'll be famous." Palpatine. Yeah, yeah.
Do it.
See, the story now has a purpose. The story now has meaning. Oh, that's funny.
Why is that the overarching bit?
the golden bird.
The golden bird. That's gotta be. This episode's gonna be Pals, Friends, and Birds podcast.
Friends and Birds. If we ever make a new like serialized series or whatever, one of the plot points is gonna be an evil golden bird.
You gotta put a bird in the thumbnail, like just a really subtle golden bird.
Yeah, I'll try and find a JPEG from the game and just marry it in.
That's gonna be the new hidden Ashley bit. It's gonna be when I had a golden bird in all your thumbnails.
Jesus Christ, golden bird.
The golden birds.
Oh.
That's so stupid.
God. The stupid fucking game. And the thing is, like, I'm planning to do a video on The Last Express because I like it a lot. And I was like, all right, you know, there isn't that much interesting stuff in the game, but I got the golden bird part. I was like, okay, I gotta bring this up. I gotta bring up how this World War I thriller turns into fucking, like, you know, turns into like a saw trap. Jesus. What do I have here? You know what I've noticed recently, Aaron?
What?
We are in the age of shitty licensed games again. Are you happy for this?
I unironically am.
Yeah, because we've had funny enough, the games I'm thinking of are all from the same publishing company. It's that really ugly Lord of the Rings Gollum game, that King Kong game, and that new Walking Dead game. Have you seen these?
I've seen the King Kong one.
Yeah, I didn't know all three of these games were published by the same person.
We're so back.
Like, listen, licensed games aren't bad. Like, for fuck's sake, like, I love James Bond. And the James Bond games are like a staple of my life, at least, of my life in gaming. And those are licensed games. Listen, James Bond fans are like the only gamers in the world who actively love the fact that EA had the license and made games yearly. Those are the only people who will actively champion for EA. Because they made the best Bond games. Listen, all I want for my next licensed game, all I want is... What's like the worst game you could adapt? The worst movie you could adapt for a game?
Did you ever play that one licensed game you got for PS2?
The Great Escape? Holy fuck. I didn't even get past the third level. Listen, it isn't that bad. Because like a week after I bought it, like a YouTuber I liked who talks about like underrated, like weird jank games talked about it. And it's kind of cool, but it's also not. One funny thing about the game, The Great Escape, for those who don't know, is like an old ass movie from like the 1950s about like a bunch of like POWs escaping from a prison camp in World War II. Great movie. And it has Steve McQueen in it, you know, the guy who rides the motorcycle, and he's in the game. He's the only character who they got the likeness for. So you have this like super hyper realistic Steve McQueen interacting with like discount actors from the movie. And they don't give him a voice. They use archival footage for his voice lines. So it's like, all right, Miles, we're gonna jump over the fence. Okay, we got it. Let's go. It's like they're pulling audio from like the 50s.
But everyone else is revoiced.
Yeah, because they couldn't get the likenesses for everyone else. That's the funny thing about likenesses. They ever play the Godfather game where Michael Pacino was just generic white guy with black hair?
Or like the Back to the Future game.
I don't know. Michael J. Fox looks alright in that game. Well, I know it's not Michael J. Fox, but he looks decent though.
Like it's not that it looks bad.
Definitely certain uncanny though.
Yeah, you can tell it's not exact.
It helps that the game has like an art style to it, so it's allowed to look a little weird.
Wasn't that a Telltale game, or am I making it up?
That's Telltale. That's like the only Telltale game I actually like. I haven't played The Walking Dead though, so I can't talk about that.
I like Batman.
Listen, Batman was funny. Like that game was really funny because I just role played as like the most asshole Batman I possibly could.
I actually need to rebuy this game.
Yeah, that game was re-released a while ago for the anniversary. I don't know. I don't think it's on like digital stuff, but you can still find it.
It was re-released for PS4.
Yeah, for like the anniversary. It's a good game. I love the Back to the Future game.
I have at least I think the first chapter on PS3.
Isn't Back to the Future your favorite movie of all time?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Do you like the other two?
I used to hate 3 as a kid, but I need to rewatch it.
3's good. Listen, I love them all. They're all A+ movies, in my opinion.
I like 2. And it's not as good as 1, but I like 2. I think 2's fun.
I like 2 a lot. I have a heart like if I had to choose one of them, to watch forever, it probably would be 1. But I really like the other 2.
I guess my problem with Back to the Future 2 is I just think it drags.
Really, like after they go back to the past.
Yeah, once they go to like the dark future where Biff is.
Yeah, like the dark present where Biff is like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
he's taken over the world.
Yeah.
No, he's just taken over Hill Valley. Isn't he just taken over Hill Valley? He's
like a mild celebrity.
Yeah.
I think once you get to that point in the movie, it kind of drags a bit. But it's certainly not bad. It's like they're all like honestly at worst B tier.
Yeah, this was still though B tier Back to the Future is still better than most movies coming out today. So
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know what I want for Back to the Future 4 if they ever make one.
What?
You know how in like the first movie, Doc is talking about like all the possibilities to where they could go.
Yeah.
He's like, we could go back in time and witness the birth of Christ. And I'm like, wouldn't that make a great Back to the Future movie? Fucking Marty McFly being like the seventh wise man.
I want to see him. It could be a series or whatever, but I just want to see what happens. Like more examples of like just what happens if you like completely misuse the DeLorean.
Well,
that'd be funny.
I don't
think you should.
I have the answer to your prayers, Aaron. There was a Back to the Future TV show where Doc's little shithead kids go around in a DeLorean and fuck shit up.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, there's an episode where one of Doc's kids goes back in time and stops Benjamin Franklin from getting struck by lightning, and because of that, the entire world is reverted to the Stone Age where there's no electricity. Which I'm like, that's not how it would work, but it's really funny.
It's like that's My Friend Martin logic.
Yeah, where if you like one person is responsible for everything, and no one else could have done it but them.
You take out Martin Luther King from the world, and racism prevails.
Yeah, there was no one else fighting racism in the 1950s. It was only Martin Luther King.
Oh, I remember that was an FYC thing where for months I tried to get you to do an FYC on My Friend Martin.
It'd be a great April Fool's video. I won't spoil what this year's April Fool will be, but I'll just say it's the most fun you could possibly have while watching an FYC.
I really want a reveal on the Martin Luther King movie from a white guy on the internet.
No. That movie is like genuinely really funny though. And like it's good in some. I like how it starts as like a genuine like retelling of Martin Luther King's life at a legitimately interesting angle. But towards the end, it just becomes Martin Luther King being confused about time travel, and they just ditch the whole civil rights aspect. They ditch the whole like autobiographical aspect just to be like, hey, it's Martin Luther King in the present. Isn't that silly? It just stops becoming educational, you know?
My favorite part is when they go back to the future and like segregation is back and like the best friend is friends with his bully just because they're both white.
My favorite example is because there's a character in the it's not a movie, but in the movie there's like a Latina girl they hang out with, and when they go back to the dark future where Biff Tannen rules, she can't fucking speak English. She can't fucking speak English because Martin Luther wasn't there. Martin Luther wasn't there, so she couldn't learn English. There's a part where they go up to her and she's like been regressed to like a school janitor, and she's like mopping the floors on her hands and knees.
Low-key racist as
fuck. And I'm like, whoa.
I also really like the implication that Biff Tannen champions segregation.
He would. It's totally in line.
My favorite part of the movie is when they go back to the past and future Biff Tannen is giving past Biff Tannen the sports almanac, and you see outside while they're going through the cart in the tree there's a golden bird.
No. You know the picture Marty has throughout the movie where he sees like his family disappearing? There's golden birds in that one too.
Every time someone disappears, there's another bird.
No. It's horrible.
I mentioned Back to the Future the first time we did this bit. We've gone completely in a circle.
It all leads back to My Friend Martin. I think they still show that in schools. I think they still show that.
I was watching that in like 5th grade, I think.
I don't think it was ever shown to me.
Oh, yeah, no, they showed it to me in my school.
The only reason why I know about it is because a YouTuber I used to watch talked about it, and it was really funny.
And, even a 10 or 11-year-old me saw that scene, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah. Forget Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, all these other
Rosa
people.
Parks, even like people before him.
Yeah. Civil rights set back 10 billion years because Martin Luther King wasn't there.
Martin Luther King single-handedly stopped the Jim Crow laws.
Yeah.
I want to see the movie where Martin Luther King is having a civil debate with Biff Tannen.
He's talking to like Mayor Goldie Wilson. Is like, don't worry, Goldie Wilson. We're gonna clean up this town. Mayor Goldie Wilson.
And then after Mayor Goldie Wilson, he becomes a mayor, and then it's a Latina girl who's the janitor instead.
That's just still so fucking like everything in the movie is just so different after they take MLK out at a time or whatever. Like everything is like for the worst. Like for the worst.
I guarantee you that everyone who made that movie, like not everyone, but a vast majority of people behind that movie are white.
I don't know. Had a pretty stacked cast, all things considered.
I don't remember who's in it.
They got James Earl Jones to be MLK's dad. They
Oh,
got
that's
they got the Reading Rainbow guy to voice Martin Luther King when he was like in his 20s, I think.
Shouts out Reading Rainbow, by the way.
Yeah.
Take a look. It's in a book.
They got a pretty stacked cast. Whoopi Goldberg is in it too, I think. She's like the museum curator.
Wasn't he also in Star Trek?
Who, MLK?
No. No, LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton, yeah. Yeah, LeVar Burton, was he? Yeah, LeVar Burton was in Star Trek. It's fucked up.
My three favorite captains of the Starship Enterprise: Captain Kirk, Captain Picard, and Captain King.
That's really fucked up.
Maybe that's the thumbnail is Martin Luther King photoshopped as
He's on the Starship Enterprise.
in the uniform.
Oh my
It's like it's him next to like Data. He's replacing Captain Picard.
Oh my god. What if MLK was
I
just a
didn't
random
watch-
like red shirt in one episode? What would happen then?
He gets shot by Biff Tannen.
It's horrible.
he grabs him and says, "Make like a tree and get out of here."
Oh god.
What is this Biff Tannen Martin Luther King rivalry?
It's one of the greatest rivalries of cinema.
Yeah, right.
There's a part where where Biff Tannen and MLK are arguing, and Marty is like, "Yeah, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be Captain Starship Enterprise one day." I say, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good."
And
like the
then
sound
you
of
take
that.
him out of the story, and then the Starship Enterprise is fucking crashed in the middle of some random planet. It's been overtaken by Klingons. If you take Martin Luther King out of the equation,
Yes.
the Martin Luther King Biff Tannen feud is top 5 in cinema. I don't think it rivals fucking Al Capone and Luke Skywalker. Though.
Oh my god. You know the I Have a Dream feed is actually copyrighted. Like, if you play it in a video, you'll copyright claimed.
That makes sense. I used wasn't Nixon. What president was it? It was Roosevelt.
Yes, I said.
Me when I'm not a crook, honestly. Yeah, I used a Roosevelt speech, and I did not get copyright claimed.
What were you using a Roosevelt speech for?
Okay, so the pay-per-view we did, right?
Uh-huh.
The big show we did was like it was mainly based around like Peacemaker,
Uh-huh.
So it was very like overly patriotic.
You know, I was gonna have a joke
So-
where you were talking, like when you started talking about this, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, I have a dream on one of your wrestling shows, but then it actually turned out to be real, in a sort of way, but just with a different political, with a different figure in history.
Pretty much what I did was I think it was the post Pearl Harbor speech
Uh-huh.
and cut stuff out and jumbled it back up and then made it fit the context of our storylines. And it turned out it was actually really sick. And there's like History Channel music behind it and all
This
that.
is really fucked up. I just think the chain of events of this is great.
This is a much more fun episode than the podcast.
Yeah, this is a better episode.
This is an actual podcast.
Did you ever watch the pilot episode? How fucked up it was.
I listened to some of it, but I couldn't tell you what we talked about.
Did you watch the gameplay that I was doing?
No, I actually just listened to like an actual podcast.
I fucked up massively because like I guess OBS hated me because I was playing a game and then it decided to crop the image and I'm like, damn it, I've already recorded like 3 hours of gameplay. I'm not doing it again. I haven't made like an actual video in like months. Like the last how long has it been since Captain Ultra? Captain Ultra.
It's been at least I think it's been a couple months.
Yeah. The thing is like
I also
what?
I said I've also been really lacking on my main channel.
Well, yeah, it's because like I get busy a lot, and my priorities shift. So I'm like I have to focus on school.
Isn't it crazy what happens when we become adults?
Yeah, and there are days where I just want to be like I just want to play video games because I like video games. But I'm working on a giant fucking video about Channel Awesome, and I'm working on another video about something else because I got to the point where I'm like I feel like an absolute piece of shit who doesn't do anything with his life. I'm gonna make a video about a man who gets pranked on national television. So I made a video about I'm gonna make a video about that, and it'll be my comeback. I don't know what you're planning on your end.
I'm working on a video right now about pit the Wii U and the Switch.
Oh, pitting the Wii U against the Switch?
Yeah, but also like really specific aspects of it.
Like what?
Pretty much, I'm talking about what parts I think the Wii U does better than the Switch.
Listen, unpopular opinion, I adore the Wii U. I love the Wii U so much.
I like the Wii U. I like the Wii U too.
It's one of my favorite. I wouldn't say it's one of my. It probably is one of my favorite consoles, but the thing is, I don't play that many consoles or own that many consoles.
I'm trying to get the new PS5 Slim.
But listen, the Wii U gamepad is one of like, the most comfortable controllers I've ever played with.
Right though.
It fits perfectly into my hands. It's like it was made for me.
It looks hideous, but
Damn.
it feels incredibly natural.
I wish they invested in a better screen protector because now it looks like it was storming the beaches of Normandy if I just play one game on it. But you know, what can you do? It's good that a lot of Wii U games are coming to Switch. Now I don't have to go back to the Wii U for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
That's kind of the problem though, is that like those games are the only games on Switch.
Well, yeah, you gotta see it from Nintendo's perspective. Only one person bought the Wii U, so now they can finally put these games on a console people actually bought. Which, you know, is fine. But then people like, you know, Scott the Wise bitch about it, but I'm like, well, yeah, these ports weren't made for people like you. These ports were made for people who don't know how to spell Wii or U. I love the Wii U.
I do too. I miss having music on the like console menu.
Yeah, I miss the Miis. I know the Miis are on Switch, but they're like barely used at all.
Yeah, and they're like tucked away in like a hidden room.
Yeah, they're not like, you know, like Miis weren't front and center on the Wii or 3DS, but there was like whole ass applications dedicated to them. So you could do stuff with the Miis. There's like nothing for the Miis besides like fucking the Mii character in Mario Kart 8. Like, can you name a game that uses the Miis prominently? No.
Prominently, no.
Yeah, prominently, no. yeah, Miitopia.
Oh, yeah, Miitopia, yeah.
Thank you, voice.
Sure. That's about it, though.
Yeah,
Please bring Tomodachi Life to Switch. I'm begging you.
I like Tomodachi Life. I like Miitopia more because it's an actual game. Miitopia is funny as hell.
Tomodachi Life is one of my favorite games of all time.
It's great. There's nothing else like. There's not really anything else like it.
In my Discord server, we have a channel where we have an in server Tomodachi Life save with everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people in the server, and it's really silly.
Yeah, because Tomodachi Life is how would you describe it? Because I know what it is, but I think you can describe it better.
You put your Miis on an island. You can help nudge them in certain directions and help solve their problems, but you're kind of just an observer watching them in a fish tank interact with each other.
Yeah.
Cultivate relationships.
It's not really like funny. The Sims. Would you say it's more fast paced than The Sims? That they do stuff faster than The Sims?
It's more fast paced, and also with The Sims, it's kind of a 50-50 control and observe.
Mm-hmm.
Tomodachi Life, it's a lot more observe and a lot less control. Yeah. But they also make the observing more interesting.
Yeah, because they can do a lot of different things. You can give them voices too, which is always hilarious and scary.
I love making some of my friends have voices that sound like nails on chalkboard.
Didn't you find that game at like a thrift store or like a pre-owned store or whatever? Where'd you find your Tomodachi Life?
Oh no, I got it when like the 3DS is still like readily available.
Oh really? You just had it for that long?
Yeah, I got mine like 2015.
I fucking wish I could find 3DS games and Wii U games.
I got my 3DS for Christmas, and I got like Tomodachi Life, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and I think like Scribblenauts with it.
You were in a lucky. I got Picross, not Picross 3D, just DS Picross.
Let's go.
I remember I got Mario 3D Land like the next day because I begged my parents because I was like, I want a 3DS game, and then I beat it.
You got an actual game.
And then I beat it that very night.
It's a good Mario game.
I love 3D Land. Don't see it coming to Switch anytime soon.
They could really do a 3D All Stars too at some point. Yeah. Okay, speaking of 3D All Stars, I got a conversation to talk about.
All right.
So last week, I had a run-in with Nintendo support.
Uh-oh, they come to your house?
Yes. Pretty much my Nintendo account was locked. And I won't get into why on the podcast, but pretty much the gist of it is my account was locked for the stupid reason, so I had to call Nintendo support, and pretty much they told me that I had to get a new account.
Aw, sucks.
But the funny thing was I found out that Nintendo support, two things of it actually. First off, their hold music is really low quality Ocarina of Time music. It's like a 40-second loop.
It's probably the whole music they've had since like the 90s. They just
I guarantee you.
No.
Or at minimum since 2011 when the remake came out.
That's so funny.
And it's like a 40-second loop of the overworld theme, and that's all you get.
No, it doesn't even transition.
No, it's the same song. It'll be a 40-second loop, and then it will like go back to the robot voice telling you something about like your Switch warranty, and then it just plays again. And it sounds like someone's playing like they're playing their 3DS up to their phone speaker. The girl who I was talking to try to get my account, who's very nice by the way.
Mm-hmm. Here's her full name and address if you want to go meet her.
No. Yeah. It was very nice and it was like genuinely trying to be helpful. But she had I was trying to see if I could get my games, my digital stuff, which is I don't really have very many digital games because I mainly buy physical.
Yeah.
But I bought 3D All Stars digitally, so I lost that actually.
Oh, that's horrible. Too bad the game has millions of copies.
Yeah, I just have to buy it again, which is whatever.
You know, it'll get easier as time goes on. You know, people finally start putting it back out.
But I was trying to explain to her like, hey, can you like port that over to my new account so I don't have to like buy that? Cause it's like, I'd get you a code for it, but we don't have that anymore. And I'm like, oh yeah, so that was a limited time release. And she was like, we did that.
What?
That's- the, the Nintendo Play did not know that Nintendo did that as a limited time release, and I
That's
think that's
stupid.
tremendously funny.
That's
So I,
stupid.
as a Nintendo fan, had to explain to her the stupid decision their company made.
Don't you love it when like re-releases are botched when they have no right to be botched?
Oh yes, Sonic Origins.
Yeah, like my side, I love Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear so much, I'll buy it 3 times. Do you know about the Metal Gear Master Collection?
Hmm.
Yeah. Have you played it, or how much have you heard about it?
I saw it when they announced it, but I didn't
Yeah.
really pursue beyond
If
it.
you want to hear like the most bitchiest fan base in the world, just look up Konami people. Because the Master Collection came out, it was the first 2 games on the PC: Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and people were like, "This is just the HD collection from the PS3 on new consoles," and I'm like, "Yeah, how about you go buy me a copy of the HD collection and a PS3? See how much that will set you back." You could the amount of money you would spend getting a copy of the HD collection and a console that can play it. You could buy like 10 copies of the Master Collection. That's out now, which is great. And they also did a thing on PC, because I bought it on PC, where you can actually buy the game separately. So I was like, hey, I just want to play Snake Eater. I'll buy it for 20 bucks and I'll buy the other ones later. That's like a genuinely really smart idea that more like releases should do.
I agree. I want Pokemon to do that really badly.
They remake Pokemon games. They don't really re-release Pokemon games that much, which is stupid. They should.
They absolutely could re-release like a collection of like Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and like Fire Red Leaf Green.
These games are like less than a kilobyte in size. You can't put it on a Switch.
You can't put a GBA game. At least put it on the Switch Online.
Remember when they couldn't put GBA games on Nintendo 3DS?
I do.
Was it GBA or SN? No, it was GBA.
Yeah, even though the DS could handle it.
Yeah, and even though that like was like the ambassador program, the people who like bought their 3DS day one got GBA games.
Oh.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Nintendo infuriates me because it's like, if just releasing it, like I will give you my money. Let me give you my money.
I mean, I like Nintendo. Nintendo's like a fascinating. They're the most fascinating company on the scene right now for video games, because they've been around since like pretty much day one. That are still making stuff. Like Atari is like kind of still around, but they're not doing anything of note. Nintendo has been around since like fucking week 2,
Yeah.
and they're still kicking.
Nintendo is the Disney of video games, essentially.
Yeah, basically. Take that for what you will.
You gonna watch Wish?
You gonna watch Wish? Looks good. The humor didn't make me cringe for the most part.
Speaking of Nintendo, by the way, one of the biggest RPG releases in the world happened recently, and also Mario RPG came out.
What was the other one?
Persona 5 Tactica.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
that thing that's all over my Twitter. Yeah,
I haven't bought it yet.
it looks good. I'm glad. Listen, I know a lot of people are sick of seeing Persona 5, but I'm like, listen, if Persona 5 is an excuse for me to actually try out different genres of games, then I'm all for it. It's the classic safety net, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Persona made me try out a Dynasty like Warriors game.
I hate dancing games,
And
but with Persona, sure.
Persona made me realize I don't like Dynasty Warrior games.
Well, yeah, but it still has that safety net that it has the characters you know and love. I don't know who writes. I don't know if the people at Atlas write these games or not. I don't know how well.
No, this is absolutely a filler episode.
Tactical. What's the genre of tactical? It's like a strategy
XCOM.
RPG. It's XCOM. Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, when I probably get the PS5 Slim, I'm probably gonna get Tactica and like Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate is going to
So,
sweep the Game Awards for best bald-based game in the world.
best gate.
Have you seen the poster of Baldur's Gate where it's just bald and they just replace and they just remove all the hair on the people on the cover? It's just bald 3.
I think it's gonna be the topic of our next podcast is the Game Awards.
Oh yeah, when's that happening?
It's like a month from now.
Yeah.
It's
Have
always
you
like-
seen
it's
the
like
categories?
I've seen some of them. I know I've seen Game of the Year.
Yeah. What do you think's gonna win Game of the Year? Do you remember what's gonna be what's up for Game of the Year?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna test you, but fine. So I remember it was Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Mario Wonder. Is that correct? Is that all of them?
I think it's gonna come down to Zelda or Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Listen, as much as I love, all these games, it's so weird. Because Alan Wake. Do you know anything about Alan Wake 2?
Yeah.
That game came out like not even a month ago. I think now it's been a month.
Mario Wonder and Spider-Man came out like a week ago.
They didn't come out a week ago. They've been out for about a month.
So like these are all very recent releases, and
Yeah.
then Zelda.
The thing is, like, I'm trying to speculate why these recent games, like Mario, yeah, it's Mario. Zelda, yeah, it's Zelda. Spider-Man, yeah. But for Alan Wake 2, I'm like, The thing is,
Look, I don't.
what?
I'm sorry, and I might have to end up eating my shorts about this, but I don't think RE4 has a snowball's chance in hell of winning this.
It's a great game. I haven't played it, but it looks.
Oh no, I don't think it's a
phenomenal.
bad game.
But
I
the
just
thing
don't.
is, it's up against everything else. I don't think it has a
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too.
Yeah. Alan Wake.
It's a
go ahead.
good game. It deserves to be here, but it's got a tough list. My vote is my prediction rather is gonna be Zelda.
Yeah, mine's probably Zelda. It's easy bet.
Zelda, though I think Baldur's Gate could also is a very realistic second like runner up.
Like all of these games when they came out were like, were hype. All these games were like hugely well received when they came out. Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2, it might, to be honest, my theory of Alan Wake 2 being there is because when Alan Wake 1 came out, everyone kind of hated it, but it's been reevaluated as a great game. So I think people are just doing it to say sorry to Alan Wake. Good game though. It's fucking trippy as hell, and I wish that Epic Games didn't landlock it to their stupid store so I could play it. Alan Wake is like FYC the game. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't think Mario Wonder is gonna win either.
It might. It's. I know it's up for something else. It's up for.
It's gonna win the Family Game of the Year, aka the Nintendo.
I remember there was
Award.
like I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want to fuck up the recording. But I remember like a fucking Hello Kitty game being up for one of the awards, and I'm like, kidding me? It was like Hello Kitty Island Survival.
Do we want to go down the list and just put our predictions?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, pull
And then
them up.
we'll-
Are you on the website?
Yeah, I got it right now.
Yeah. This will be the last thing we talk about. We'll wrap up with the Game Awards, and then we can begin.
I'm skipping the esport one, so I don't care.
Yeah, name like 3 e-athletes that aren't Goofy 1 or Goofy 2 or Ninja.
Okay,
Rewards.
look, I'm gonna be very real with you here. I'm not one of the people who's anti esports. Like I get esports, I think that's cool and all that. I like tournament stuff. Like I don't follow esports regularly, but I think they're neat. Like I don't have a problem with them. But the term e-athlete makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, Dad, I'm an e-athlete. Look it up. It's a thing. Listen, e-athletes and stuff should have their own award show. They're big enough to have their own award show.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, most anticipated game: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, or Tekken 8.
Probably. I don't know. You know that one Yakuza game with Kiryu? That game came out of nowhere. I didn't know that game already came out. But I think there's a lot of people like the other Yakuza game that came before Infinite Wealth, so it might be that. But a lot of people liked Hades.
And it comes down to those two, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Tekken 8's pretty hyped. I'm surprised Tekken 8
think
hasn't come
Tekken-
out yet.
Tekken 8 is exciting, but Game Awards do like the people who do that do not like fighting games.
Yeah, I can tell because fucking last year, remember that Sifu game that I talked about a lot?
Yeah.
Like the actual like in-depth, you know, martial arts movie fighting game. That was up for fighter.
Yeah.
That was up for fighting game of the year. You know, Surefire Hit. You know what won that year? Fucking Multiverses. Fucking Multiverses. The game where Jake the dog can fight Batman.
Also, Street Fighter not being up for Game of the Year is actually like robbed.
Well, it's up for something else, and I'll give you 3 guesses what it's up for.
It's gonna be Fighting Game of the Year.
It's that. It's between that and Mortal Kombat 1. I have no idea what the other 2 games are because it doesn't matter. It's coming down between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat versus anything else is Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb.
You know, listen, I don't like. Listen, like my experience of Mortal Kombat have been the first 3 games, and I fucking hate Mortal Kombat 1 through 3. I really do. Those games are not fun. The only reason why those games did good back in the day is because they had blood and they had Scorpion.
Street Fighter better.
Yeah, but the thing is, Mortal Kombat nowadays is really good. Like Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1. Have you seen the animations on those games?
I have, yeah.
It is like fluid. It is like real life. It's real.
It's an actual game now.
Yeah, it's like so fucking good.
The best multiplayer award presented by Discord. Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Capcom, Street Fighter 6, and Mario Bros. Wonder.
Why?
Mario Bros. Wonder is not. I don't want to put that for best multiplayer.
Definitely not Baldur's Gate. Like I know there's a co-op mode to Baldur's Gate, but no one talks about the co-op mode to Baldur's Gate.
That's a single player game mainly.
Yeah, no one talks about the co-op mode.
I don't know much about Diablo.
No, it's big in Korea.
Party Animals might win. Street Fighter is a good candidate.
Yeah.
What is your vote?
Probably. I know Party Animals is making the rounds. I don't know if it's still relevant. I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, it comes down to those 2. I think Street Fighter should win because I'm biased.
Yeah, I'm biased. I like Street Fighter. I haven't played Street Fighter 6. I need to. That looks great.
Best sports / racing game, EA Sports, FC24.
Yes! Yes!
Tyler just threw his phone down and goes, "Let's fucking go."
What else is on there?
F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and The Crew Motorfest.
Hot Wheels. What about the Lego Hot Wheels game?
I don't care, dude. Just
not our genre, I guess.
if it's not like Mario Kart, then I don't care.
The only time they cared about Forza was when they added the James Bond cars, and I was like, damn, what I would give to have an Xbox for a minute.
Best sim / strategy game, Advanced Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, Cities Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, Pikmin 4.
A lot of those games are pretty good. Like I heard Advanced Wars was really good.
That was good. Pikmin 4 is good.
Fire Emblem has been good, but I've never played a Fire Emblem. I don't know who the hell Martha's.
And I heard City Skylines is pretty good too.
That game came out of nowhere. That game came out of nowhere.
I don't know anything about Company of Heroes.
Don't know anything about
it.
I
want Pikmin to win this.
Come on, we need more Pikmin support so we can get more Pikmin, please.
I agree.
I say that, but we have like all the Pikmins on Switch now.
Yeah, we do. What do you think is gonna win though?
I don't know.
I think Fire Emblem is probably gonna win.
I don't know. Fire Emblem. I feel like Fire Emblem has won something before, so I might just have seniority over this.
Was Engage like a major release?
What was
for the series? Engage, is that like a main title Fire Emblem?
I have no idea.
Oh, another. Best family game, Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Mario Bros. Wonder. Jeez,
I fucking wonder.
Couldn't tell you. No, I wonder.
Yeah,
right.
that did not mean for that to be a joke. But, yeah,
couldn't tell you I was gonna win this one.
I want Marth to win.
I want Marth to win best family game.
All right, what else?
Best fighting game. Best fighting game: God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. Yeah, Mortal Kombat,
One of
Street
these
Fighter, and
games-
who? Basically.
Street Fighter 6 like single-handedly revived the franchise. There's no reason why it shouldn't win.
Street Fighter 5 was dog shit. I'm glad that Street Fighter 5 was able to come out of the ashes.
This is a weird list of games. Best RPG: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Starfield. Why is Starfield here?
Well, it's an RPG. It's probably not going to win, though,
Starfield-
because Baldur's Gate's there.
Final Fantasy's also there too.
I didn't even know Final Fantasy 16 came out.
I think Starfield is gonna win.
I didn't even, like, I wasn't expecting Lies of P to be anywhere. Like, do you know what Lies of P is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, even if it doesn't win, it getting nominated is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
for
like
that.
that's kind of like a little sleeper hit. That's like a little indie. I don't know if it's indie, but that's a game that didn't have a lot of attention on it.
Yeah, that's you put it very
Yeah.
well as a
Yeah.
sleeper.
Good
but-
for them. Good job, Lies
Good
of
for them,
P.
though.
You did it. You made it to the
I-
Game Awards.
So you think Baldur's Gate's gonna win?
Yeah,
I think Starfield's gonna win.
yeah. It's one of the two. I mean, like, yeah, one of the two. Starfield looks good, but the thing is, Baldur's Gate is like the fucking RPG's wet dream. The game looks great.
Hmm.
I would love to play
Best
it.
Best action / adventure game: Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi: Last Survivor, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
It's gonna be like a three-way
It's gotta
type.
be Zelda. That's.
It-
I feel like whichever one of these doesn't win Game of the Year is gonna win this.
Yeah, it's a three-way between Spider-Man, Tears, and Alan Wake 2.
I think since mine has Zelda winning, I think Alan Wake 2 is gonna win this one.
Well, Alan Wake is up for like best narrative or presentation. Alan Wake's gonna win best narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Wake might be the golden child one again, like where Last of Us won like 20 fucking awards that one year.
Alan Wake 2 has been getting rave reviews. I haven't played it yet. I want to though.
Best action game: Armored Core 4, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush,
Dead
and
Island
Remnant 2.
2. More like Dead
That'd
Island
be
2.
I think Armored Core might actually win this.
Remember when people were like going like, we need Dead Island 2 to come out, and then it came out and it was dog shit.
Hey, but you need it.
The game
Which
was
one do you think's gonna win this? Which one do you think's gonna win this?
what was up for it again? What category is this? Best action?
Yes, best action game: Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
I've heard good things about Hi-Fi Rush, but I like Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner is cool.
Is that your vote?
I like Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner was really fun. It's hard as hell, but it's really fun.
I want to compile all of our answers by the end so we can write it down, and then we'll see who gets more right.
Yeah. We'll make sure to do that next time.
Yeah. I have Armored Core winning this. Best AR / VR game: Gran Turismo 7, Humanity, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village, and Synapse.
It's so weird seeing Resident Evil 8 could come up on this list. I mean, it looks good, but that's the only game I know. Resident Evil 8 is a pretty good game, and I guess VR just makes it, I don't know, a little bit better.
And it makes the whole thing better.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It makes the game. Period.
It makes the game. I don't know. Probably. I haven't heard of any of these games besides RE8. And that game has been out for a couple of years. They only just now added VR mode. And they put it on the iPad too.
I think it's gonna be Horizon.
What's Horizon's like the one with the machines, right?
Hold on.
I don't know.
It's like the It looks like it's kind of like Monster Hunter-y.
Oh yeah, it's like Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. Those. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I played a bit of the first game and I didn't like it. I turned it off after like the first hour.
Is that the one that has Vin Diesel in it?
I don't know. I don't think I got that far.
No, I just mean that series. Doesn't this one have Vin Diesel?
Horizon?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I feel like I would have kept playing. You're thinking of like Riddick or something.
He is in Zero Dawn. Yes, he is.
Who's in Zero Dawn? Is he a prominent? What?
Yes.
What? Okay, maybe I need to play these games again.
Oh no, he's in what is it? Is it Horizon or is it? No, it's Arc 2. That's what it is.
He's in Arc 2.
Yeah, he's like the main guy in Arc 2.
Okay, this is stupid. Go to the next category.
Best Vin Diesel video game. What do you think is gonna win Best VR?
Resident Evil 8, because that's the only game I know.
You know, come on, you know Gran Turismo.
I don't play Gran Turismo.
If you know what that is.
Sure. I know what syphilis is, but I don't have it.
There's car game. Best mobile game. Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis.
You're losing years off your life when you read these nominations for best mobile game.
Just every time I think of Ever Crisis, I think of what's his name getting arrested.
What?
The guy who made Sonic.
Oh, yeah, the Sonic guy.
Yeah.
That's a moment.
I'm getting arrested because he laundered money, thinking that this game would do well.
I thought he was arrested for like selling company secrets.
It was both.
He was selling the Everlasting Gobstopper to Slugworth or something.
Final Fantasy Everlasting Gobstopper. Final Fantasy VII Everlasting Crisis. Honkai Star Rail, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil.
What is this category that has? What is this category that Hello Kitty's in?
Mobile game.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Honkai Star Rail.
I got my lock for Final Fantasy Everlasting Chocolate Castle. Do you remember the scene in the Willy Wonka remake where the Indian prince, where the Indian prince asked for like a chocolate castle, but it looks like shit? He looks like he's in a castle of shit.
Are you gonna watch the new Wonka movie?
No, of course not. I've already suffered through one terrible Willy Wonka remake. I don't want to suffer through another one.
Best debut indie game: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Vinba, and Viewfinder.
I've heard all those games have a chance of winning. I've heard all those games are good.
I want Pizza Tower to win.
I'll go for Pizza Tower because it's basically the next Wario game. I love Wario.
Best independent game: Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, Viewfinder.
I heard Cocoon's really good.
I think Sea of Stars might win this though.
I heard that's like the only one I haven't heard of. I've heard of everything else but that one.
Dave the Diver is pretty good too. I'm torn between Cocoon or Sea of Stars though.
I haven't played any of those. I just know them. Donkey made a rap to Cocoon for his review. That's the only thing I know about it.
Are you gonna go with Cocoon?
Yeah, because Donkey made a rap about it.
Alright, I'll go with Sea of Stars. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 16, No Man's Sky. What is this?
Maybe Cyberpunk will win because fans just put up with CD Projekt Red's bullshit until they finally finish the game. Heard the DLC is good.
I heard so too.
The thing is,
I think Baldur's Gate.
Oh, go ahead.
Baldur's Gate should win this though.
The funny thing is about Cyberpunk is that you can find it in like bargain bids now. So you can buy it for like $20, but the thing is they made the DLC like almost full price, so they're gonna get their money back somehow. which is really, they gotta pay Idris Elba any way they can.
Yeah, I'm going No Man's Sky on this one.
Really? Is that game still relevant?
No Man's Sky? No, I'm sorry. I'm going Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna go with Cyberpunk just because I feel like fans have put up with that bullshit for too long.
Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, Genshin Impact.
Fortnite.
I don't care.
Fortnite.
It doesn't matter, Uncle Ben. Fortnite's better.
All I heard was Uncle Ben. Fortnite's better.
It doesn't matter, Uncle Ben. Fortnite's better than all of them.
Yeah, I'm going with Fortnite.
I'm going for Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm going for Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite.
Games for Impact. The Space for the Unbound, Chance of Senar, Goodbye Volcano High, Tekia, Terra Nova Vinba. I've never heard of any of these games.
I remember me and my dad were watching like a PlayStation showcase or whatever, and Goodbye Volcano High showed up. It's like all these like anthro characters are on fire, and my dad is like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's why I'm gonna vote for that game.
Yeah, I'm voting for that game.
Dad.
Yeah, for my dad. For my dad.
My dad. Innovation and accessibility: Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter.
That's such a weird category.
I'm going for Street Fighter.
I'm going for Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat 1 made Mortal Kombat good again. Even though the last two were pretty good.
Best performance: Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor,
what?
Idris Elba, Cyberpunk, Melanie Liburd, Alan Wake, Neil Newbern, Baldur's Gate, and then Yuri Lowenthal, Marvel Spooderman.
It's either going to be Spider-Man, Idris Elba, or the person from Alan Wake 2.
I'm going for Sasuke Man.
For who?
Persona 3 protagonist Sasuke Parker.
Oh, what? Huh?
What were you lost? What were you lost about there?
So wait, who does the Persona 3 Pro? What? Hold on. I'm sorry, because when you started like, talking about this category, I was having a hard time figuring out what it was.
It's his best voice acting performance.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going for Persona 3 protagonist, Sasuke Spider.
Okay. Okay. If I had to lock, it'd be Alan Wake 2.
Alright. You're gonna go for Knuckles the Cyberpunk.
Okay, he might win. He might win just because he has Hollywood clout and he's a genuinely good actor.
Yeah, I do like Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Best audio design: Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man, Resident Evil. I think that's Alan Wake, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. Best audio kind of sounds like, what game has the better pretty soundtrack? So I might go to Hi-Fi Rush.
It might also, genuinely might go to Resident Evil.
That game had great sound design.
Well, the music one's the next one. So I think it...
Oh really? Is there like a best soundtrack category?
Yeah, it's best score and music is next.
What's up with that one?
Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy, Hi-Fi Rush, Zelda, and then Team.
Team?
Or just composed by Team, so yes, it's Zelda.
Might be Tears, to be honest. I have no idea what the soundtrack is like, but I just know it might win.
I think so too.
Alan Wake probably is a good soundtrack. I don't know. I haven't listened to the Alan Wake 2 soundtrack.
So, what's your answer for audio design?
Audio design, probably Resident Evil or Alan Wake. I don't know. If they have shitty covers of David Bowie songs, then it's probably gonna lose, like it did last time. It's a very personal grievance, but I'll let it slide.
No, they will never take down my man's David Bowie like that
They
again.
did. They ended Alan Wake 1 with a shitty cover of a David Bowie song, and it didn't even match with the theme of the game. And I'm like, you only did this because David Lynch did this. All right, move on before I go and I rant about Alan Wake 1, because God knows I will.
There was best score music. I think we both said Zelda.
Yeah, probably.
Best art direction: Alan Wake, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Mario Wonder, Zelda.
Alan Wake is probably going to win that.
Alan Wake. Yeah.
Alan Wake has like
Best...
fucking crazy design.
Best narrative: Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, Marvel, Spider-Man.
Alan Wake might win that one too.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Best adaptation: Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, Last of Us, Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. There's 2 answers here.
Yeah, and they rhyme with Misted Metal. No. it's gonna be Last of Us. You kidding me? Of course, it's gonna be Last of Us.
It might be Mario, but Last of Us should win. Last of Us is so good.
I haven't seen it yet because I want to finish the game first.
Best game direction: Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man, Mario, Zelda.
It's probably gonna be Alan Wake.
Probably.
Alan Wake is like a fucking movie you play.
And they love those movies. Like, the Game Awards love that shit.
Yeah. Game where you walk in a straight line, and you go through cramped hallways.
And Game of the Year.
Just fucking take your pick. It could be anything that isn't Resident Evil 4.
I think it's Zelda.
It's probably gonna be Zelda. In my heart, I kind of want it to be Alan Wake 2. But if I had to be like a safe bet, yeah, it's probably gonna be Zelda.
Alright, so thank you everyone for listening to the friends, pals, and...
Wait, hold on. Before we end, I just want to say whoever runs the Game Awards released a press statement talking about like security for the Game Awards because the Bill Clinton kid. And I remember someone had a meme where they have like snipers on stage getting ready to kill anybody that comes near stage. But if you go back to an archived version of the Game Awards where the Bill Clinton kid was there, you can see perched on his shoulder a golden bird just sitting there. I just wanted to end with that. You can do the outro now.
No, that is the outro.
That is the outro. Alright, this has gone on for almost 2 hours, even though we said an hour and 10 minutes. This will be really fun to edit down. Alright, bye everyone. Toodaloo.